This is David Satterfield, General Manager, Murphy's Industrial Complex, LLC at 969 Highway 4 in Murphy's, California. It's November 3rd at approximately 10:20 in the morning, continuing the video tour of the leased premises that was previously leased by Nourish Feed and Supply, owned and operated by Tiffany Thompson, Ryan Van Cleve, and Dennis Ponte. They moved out yesterday, November 2nd, a day after the end of their lease. So they retained property in here and retained possession of the leased premises for one additional day. Right off the bat, I can tell you that they didn't paint these walls back or at least prime over them. So green color here, two walls over here, this wall and this wall in blue, that wall in red, this wall in brown, all of which are unattractive colors that another tenant or prospective tenant will not be interested in. So the reasonable expectation of Nourish Feed and Supply was that they would at least prime over the walls here, which they did not do. Other damage over here to the wall that we previously shot, they did put some haphazard patches in. The patches just look pretty poor and will need to be re-skimmed, primed at least, which I believe is should be the responsibility of Nourish Feed and Supply for that. However, they did not fix the big crack where they pushed in the wall up at the top there. Pushed in the wall at the top there. You could see this crack that runs along the side there, and then pushed in the wall there. And this is where their hay storage was. So again, didn't bother to fully remove all the hay and alfalfa and stuff like that, just left it in the corners. Barely broomed in here, but I wouldn't even call it that. See a lot of debris still here on the floor. There was some sort of shelving unit in here. I do admit and concur with Nourish that the shelving unit belonged to them, but they took out some kind of unit that was in there previously, which is fine, no big deal. But when they did, they just ripped out where they attached it to the wall up there. So created all that drywall damage up there, specifically in these four spots right here, but you can see it just goes up the wall. So ripped all that out. Roll-up door looks pretty good from the inside. The only thing that you could see is just the damage that where it's been pushed in from the outside, that they did damage there. And then this this man door right here doesn't unlock, doesn't open, and that was a fully functional door when they moved in. Propane furnace that hung from the ceiling right there. There's an identical one over in the other tenant's area, but that's where it was vented out, and that's where it was plumbed with gas and electricity. Nourish Feed and Supply moved it over here into this corner. They took the time to wire it up there themselves, put the gas in themselves. You can see they put gas in there, electricity up there, put a new hole and vented it out there. And then up here is where they hung the brackets. So that propane furnace that has a value of approximately $2,000, although old, was operable. So Nourish moved it and serviced it, which is all their responsibility and liability. And now it's gone. So Ryan Van Cleve on the telephone yesterday told me that he felt he was entitled to it because they put money into servicing it, and that it was just an old, inefficient unit, and that I could probably get another one that would be better and more efficient. But he thought that he was entitled to the furnace and either kept it, or he told me that he took it to a scrap yard and scrapped it out for metal, which I don't believe. That's not the character of Ryan Van Cleve. He's known for reclaimed wood. This whole feed store that was in here was mostly reclaimed wood, which is great, and I like that concept. But he claimed, not reclaimed, just claimed that propane furnace, which was not his, but he had the means to bring it down with the forklift and the skill to bring it down. So Ryan and the Nourish business stole the furnace there. They did not bother to take down the 2x4s that run across there or the side here. Everything else looks relatively intact. They didn't take down this part there where they had covered all the nasty looking installation up there. But they did worsen the situation. You can see all this right here is new, where they put 2x4x16s, which I shot in video earlier. All this spot here and this spot here and this spot here, all new damage to the insulation by 2x4x16s that they just threw up there against the wall. So again, no respect for the way that they left the premises here. So I feel Nourish Feed and Supply is responsible for paying out of their security deposit the priming of these walls that are unattractive colors, and also priming and skimming with additional mud coats, the patching that they did up there, plus the repair of the wall here and the repair of the wall up here where that's cracked. And they will also be responsible for a new door lock here, and they will be responsible for the cleaning that we're going to have to do in here and in the yard, especially of the hay that they left as primarily my concern. We're down here sweeping and raking up hay like there's no tomorrow. They also left a lot of packing material up there on the loft. Other than that, everything at this point seems to be intact and functional. I've not run the swamp coolers yet, but the swamp coolers still remain on the back of the building. However, again, just want to reiterate that propane heater that was up there on the ceiling is now gone, and Ryan admitted to me that he took it and did not return it when they came yesterday like I asked him to. Glass there looks functional and intact. Floor looks fine. I don't see anything new there. And I think that about covers it from the inside.